Too many people think inside the box when it comes to buying real estate. And honestly, it's not their fault. For most of their lives, banks, lenders, even well meaning family members have all conditioned us to believe there's only one acceptable path to owning a piece of real estate. It goes something like this: get a well paying job, a W 2 job, save up 20% for a down payment, apply for a mortgage, and hope that you get approved. This might work for your primary residence or maybe your first rental property, but if you're serious about buying performing assets, this method is actually the slow track to building wealth. Slow, very slow. And if you've ever gotten a no from a lender, let me tell you something important. That really means nothing at all. It doesn't define your worth or your potential, and it certainly doesn't mean that you should give up. I work with over 100 different lenders, and I can tell you that some do things totally differently. And some are going to slam the door in your face, say, no, we don't do that type of a product. Okay, I'm going across the street. So just because one door closes doesn't mean there aren't 5 others right behind it. And that's exactly what you'll find once you start exploring options beyond the big banks. In fact, the most successful investors I know, I'm talking about people with massive portfolios, way bigger than mine. They didn't start by walking straight through the front door. They found a window, a side door, a ladder, or sometimes they dug a tunnel. And they came in through the basement. I mean, heck, friend of the show, Robert Kiyosaki, he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, he talks about this openly. The first house he ever bought was with a credit card. So because when you're determined, you're resourceful, and you're willing to get creative, real estate becomes a game that actually you can win. And in this video, I'm going to show you the creative financial secrets the banks will never bring up to you, even though they're completely legal, completely legitimate. And I would bet that at least one of them is available to you right now. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Number 1, taking a 401k loan. This is a strategy that almost no one talks about. Borrowing from your 401k, not withdrawing, but borrowing. Now, the retirement and financial industry have made people believe that you should never touch your 401k under any circumstances. But the truth is, nearly every major 401k provider offers a loan option. It's not complicated whatsoever. In fact, sometimes it only takes like a few clicks in your online portal. I used to have Fidelity. That was who managed my 401k back in the day. You could go in, click on loan, how much did you want, boom, and it was done. The best part is you're borrowing from yourself, not some greedy bank making profits off of you. And the interest that you pay, it goes back into your own retirement account. So you're borrowing from the bank of you, and the interest that you're paying goes back into the bank of you. Here's an example. Let's say you've got $100,000 in your 401k. Most providers will allow you to borrow up to $50,000 or 50% of your vested balance, right? So you borrow $50,000 for a down payment on a rental property. That's exactly what I did. The very first time I borrowed $50,000 from my 401k to buy a rental property. Then, over an agreed upon time period, I think I chose like 24 months to pay it back. You pay that loan back in increments out of your paycheck, and your 401k collects the interest. You've essentially used one asset to create another asset. Obviously, you should run your own numbers, but this is a win-win in my book. If you have a stable job and no plans of leaving anytime soon, this strategy can fast-track your portfolio way faster than traditional savings alone. Plus, you don't have to worry about a lender determining if you're worthy or not. It's your money. Number 2, utilizing forgotten retirement plans. This one usually surprises a lot of people. You might be sitting on money you didn't even realize you still had. It sounds like a tall tale, but it actually happens more than you think. Data from Capitalize shows that as of July 2025, there were 3.1 million 401k accounts that were left behind or forgotten when they left the job and they moved to another job. These accounts total approximately $2.1 trillion in assets, up nearly 30% from 2023. It happens. Job changes happen. Life moves fast and things get overlooked. Sometimes you leave behind an old 401k or other retirement plan from a previous employer. It happens. It happened with me. I left my job at Fox Philadelphia, and it was like $25,000 in that account, and I moved on, and I just let it sit there for years like an idiot. So if you happen to have one of these accounts, it can be rolled into a self-directed IRA, which allows you to invest in real estate, and that's what I did. I opened a self-directed IRA, and I started to use it for investing purposes. I mean, imagine rediscovering an old account with even $10,000 in it. That can become the seed money for a down payment on a rental property. Investing in a real estate note or even private lending, you could lend that money out to somebody else with an interest, 5 or 6% interest rate to somebody else. Or you could partner on a rental deal, so that you could use a piece of that with a group of 5 friends and you come together and you buy a property together in an LLC. So if you think you might have forgotten funds that are out there, you'll have to do some detective work to track it down. You can start by calling previous HR departments, logging into old provider portals, or searching your email inbox for previous statements. But start now. Look, this alone is an incredible way to unlock thousands of dollars you might forgot you had access to, all without even involving a banker at all. Number 3, tapping into the home equity of your home. Now, if you already own a home, or any property for that matter, don't discount your biggest wealth building tool. I'm talking about the power of equity. Maybe you inherited a warehouse that your grandparents handed down. I mean, that's kind of what's going on with my wife right now and her family. They've got these warehouses in California that the grandfather bought. Well, okay, maybe they've got equity, right? Like they're renting them out, so they've got equity. So you could use that equity to buy something. It's no secret that home prices have climbed dramatically in most markets over the last few years, and a lot of warehouse prices have too. So even if you only own property for 5 years, you could be sitting on tens of thousands in equity. And what do most people do with this kind of equity? Nothing. They sit there, they do absolutely zero with it. Nothing. But financially intelligent people don't do that. They actually put their equity to work for them. A home equity line of credit, or a HELOC, is one of the most popular ways to do this. It's flexible, it's interest only, and it acts like a giant credit card that's backed by your home. You can use a HELOC to fund a down payment, buy an asset outright, depending on how much you have. If this is new to you, then definitely check out my full video. I have a full guide on this called The Ultimate Guide on Leveraging Home Equity. It lays out everything step by step. I'll link it up in the description below, and it shows you how to avoid some common mistakes as well. Number 4, trading up, turning non-performing assets into performing assets. Inside our free 90-day financial empowerment bootcamp that we put together, we teach you how to take assets that are sitting idle and then turn them into performing assets that actually generate income. Let me give you some examples of non-performing assets. The car that's sitting in your driveway that you already, that you hardly ever drive, right? That old savings account that's earning 0.01% interest. A rental that breaks even or even loses money. Or collectibles or luxury items that you don't even use. A smart investor looks at all of this and says, how can I turn this into something that actually cash flows? And when you ask yourself that question, I bet you'll find the answer. Sometimes that means selling the item or repurposing it in some way. The path is different, though, for everyone. But the principle is the same. Don't let dead assets just sit there doing nothing. If you want help with this, you can actually download the bootcamp for free. Just go to redacted.inc/bootcamp. We'll have it linked up in the description below. Number 5, partnerships. Here's a secret that most beginners don't realize. Successful real estate investors rarely do everything on their own. Partnerships can be an impactful way to combine resources like time, skills, capital, or experience with someone that has a shared goal. So maybe one of your friends actually has the money, another one of your friends has the time, right? Or another friend has the research experience and can actually find the properties. So you've got the money, they've got the experience. You see how this all comes together? One person might bring money. One person might have the deal. They might have found the deal. Suddenly you can accomplish more together than you could on your own. And although a business partnership can be a wonderful situation, it's also not something to take lightly. Don't jump into it blindly. Be sure that you have clear agreements, roles, understanding how profits are split. Make sure you talk to a lawyer when you're setting everything up correctly so no one gets burned. Very, very important. When done correctly, though, partnerships can accelerate your portfolio growth by years. Number 6, private money. If the banks have slammed the door in your face, so what? Sometimes that can be the push you need to discover the world of private money, which could be one of the best ways to build wealth. Private lending is simply people with money funding people with deals, and it allows you so much more freedom than working with a bank. There's no strict qualifications, no credit requirements, just two parties creating a mutually beneficial agreement. You can work with professional private lenders, local investors, even friends or relatives. If you want a blueprint for this, I always recommend the book called Getting the Money by Susan Lassiter Lyons. It breaks down exactly how to fund private lenders and structure loans that make everyone feel comfortable. Number 7, short notes. Investing in real estate short notes is the most accessible strategy for beginners or anyone who wants to earn quick returns. Real estate short notes are a great way to invest in collaterally backed real estate loans. So there's no single right way to build wealth through real estate. There's only your way, whatever's right for you. And once you understand how many creative financing routes exist out there, you stop seeing obstacles in your way, you start seeing opportunities. Whether you're trying to buy your first rental property or your 10th, remember this. You are not limited by your bank's approval. You're only limited by your creativity and your persistence. So I hope this video gave you some new ideas to start to generate wealth. I hope you can see how all of these pieces of the puzzle can start to come together and help you reach your goals, no matter what your financial situation is or what the bank says you can do. So be sure to check out the description box below. We left all of those resources there for you. The books we mentioned, all of it is free. Check it out. And for more videos on creating financial freedom, check out this video on the retirement crisis right here. And we'll see you in the next video.